Hey, what's going on? It is Jax here back with another video. So the first thing that stands out is, yes, I'm using a screen recording with a voiceover, just because my computer right now is broken, the charger is broke, I'm getting a new one soon. But I really wanted to share this gameplay, even though I can't really make the best video out of it. I really wanted to just share the reads as well, because I think a lot of the value comes from the gameplay plus the voiceover. Everything else is just a little bit extra. So I really wanted to share it because I'm 32nd in the world and number 1 in the US by a solid win. 33 is kind of hard to come by up here, so really happy about where I am right now with P.E.K.K.A. And I have a matchup against Lava Clone. Pretty easy matchup, but I still think I played it well. We beat Expo, Firecracker, Wallbreakers, Giant Graveyard, and then I'll probably finish off with Sparky here because it was not even a close match. And yeah, I really just wanted to come and share this gameplay with you guys, even though it's not going to be the highest quality. And yeah, so we'll just hop straight into the first replay here against Linguini, which I'm pretty sure is food. I don't know. If I'm wrong, don't make fun of me too much. Don't make fun of me too much. But I was pretty sure he was playing Lava Clone at this point. I've seen him on the leaderboard some. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off with a bandit in the back, I believe. Seconds to see if he'll make a play. And then here is kind of an awkward situation because I don't want to zap the bats. I know if he has Lava Clone, he's got Skarmy. So I just E-Wiz and then battle him as soon as I can. We're just going to put the pressure on him here. And he is going to just play a Lumberjack. He's actually going to sack the tower first. And I was a little bit confused here. I thought he would play the Lumberjack on the E-Wiz and then go Flying Machine. But he ends up playing the Flying Machine with the Lava Hound, and actually waits, and I zap at the last second, saving my E-Wiz and making sure the Flying Machine dies, really limiting the threat level of his push here. So I just go in with a Royal Ghost Magic Archer combo to start killing this off, and he's really low on Elixir. I actually thought he had enough for Clone, so I don't E-Wiz, and he does have enough for Clone now, but I'm just going to wait and see if he wants to pull the trigger on a Clone, because I only have Poison, and I'm not going to have enough Elixir. So I just wanted to make sure that if he was going to Clone, that I was going to wait as long as I possibly could. And then here, the Magic Archer is really low on health, and even though he doesn't have a great hand to stop a Battle Ram, I want to go in when I'm going to 3-crown him, or at least apply a lot of pressure. Because if I go in right then, he's just going to bats. After my Magic Archer locks on, and then I really can't do anything about his Skarmy. So I just go ahead and end up playing a Battle Ram in the back. Then we zap the bats. I needed to make sure I was cycling. I couldn't bleed with that hand. I couldn't pre-poison those, obviously, because that's just a terrible elixir trade. And so we just let the Battle Ram connect, and then he goes in for a Lava at the bridge. I didn't play anything same lane, because if he went for Lava at the bridge, this Bandit would get no value, would get no damage, just die to the Flying Machine. I'm going to lose this tower anyway, but I at least want to set up a little bit of a defense here. And this is really good for me that he Baby Dragon there, because now this Hound is about to die. So he Lumberjacked, and I just poisoned. I'm not willing to take chances with it. I just want it dead. I just want it dead, because he wastes his Lumberjack, and he just can't get any damage on my King. It's like a couple 100,000 damage. It's easily manageable with so much of a lead on both of his towers. So now, because of this damage equivalency or something, I'm a dueling threat, which is super nice in this matchup. So he plays a lot of Elixir, and I just go in with a Bandit at the bridge, and the Lumberjack is there, but the Ghost is on tower, getting me so much damage, and then I late E was kind of a mistake here. I bled Elixir, and I missed the Baby Dragon, but it gets the job done, just no counter push. It's not even like I was going to counter push. And now, since the Lumberjack is out of range, and he Lavas, which my E-Wiz is still cleaning up, by the way, but even if he didn't, he's down 7 Elixir, so I'm just spamming all out. He almost got away with the Skarmy defense here, but he doesn't, and we end up getting a very nice 3. My highest ranking, top 30 ever, and number 1 in the US again. Really good game right there. Just showing you guys how you want to pressure, and you really need to be conscious of if you think they're going to use their clone to wait, so that you don't end up going straight into that clone. Because if I had played my E-Wiz into that clone, he had 2 Baby Dragons and pups. My entire push would have been, or defense would have been melted, as well as probably over half the tower, and I would have definitely lost it. So hesitating there was the right play. So now we'll go into the next game against Yusuf, I don't know. But yeah, so there will be no editing on this. I'm sorry if the cut, there's gonna be like no cuts. I don't know how to edit, and I honestly don't have a whole lot of time tonight to record this and upload it. So we're just gonna be doing our own thing here. And so I go Battle Arm at the bridge. Again, I knew his deck, and I wanted to try and like starting hand him because I didn't have a good hand and I needed to cycle. So I might as well try and abuse starting hand RNG if I'm gonna have to cycle anyway. Tesla after a brief period of bleeding. So up Elixir, and I actually knew this guy had Firecracker Rocket. I actually knew he had Rocket. His Firecracker was a surprise. but I play my magic archer in the middle, and it could have been killed by the fireball there, but I knew he didn't have fireball. Otherwise, you want to play your magic archer. Firecracker, get her dead, one shot of the magic archer plus a zap does kill her. And then magic archer survives at 1 HP, gets a shut off on the tower, always in healing. I just eat this E-Spirit. I was considering king activating, but it's really not a good idea because it really doesn't do anything in the matchup. He's only going to be able to connect a knight to the tower, and even then that's not going to do, it's not often happening. And by that point, I had come to the realization that activating king would be useless. I'd already had too little time to play my ghost, or my ghost on top of the E-Spirit to kill it. But it ends up working out fine. I can take an E-Spirit and damage early. So we just banned it to kill off this knight. It only gets one shot, and we do have a nice counter push coming back at him now. Even though it's just going to go right into Firecracker Skeletons, I just take the poison here. Even though it's actually an even trade because I played the bandit on top of the knight. I had that investment of the bandit already because it had gotten value, so I could afford the poison. I knew he's going to Skeletons too. It's just not really anything I could do about it to get it to connect, so we'll just take what we can get, you know. So he goes in with an Expo and Knight, and always when you play against like an Expo deck like this, especially if they don't have Fireball, go with the PEKKA Iwas for overkilling the Expo, and if you hesitate on the Iwas, you can get Knight value like that. That was a 9, actually, yeah, a 9 for 10 trade on my end, plus I got the Iwas damage after he Skeletons. So here I Battle Ram in the middle. I know he didn't have P.E.K.K.A. and Cycle, and so quickly assassinate this Firecracker. When you don't have your P.E.K.K.A. and Cycle, you have to be really, really, really decisive with your gameplay. You have to either choose, you have to, like, when they expo, you need to think in your head, okay, I'm going to have to do this right now, or else this expo is going to lock and they're going to have time to prepare. So we were able to be decisive. We killed this Firecracker, and this Knight wasn't enough, or whatever he played wasn't enough. We killed the expo, and now our cycle is back to being fixed. So he doesn't have a Tesla, because he just let it die. So I go in, and I zap this Firecracker again. You see I'm doing this Magic Archer zap combo quite a lot. It's really helpful, and then I go in with a Bandit here, assassinate Tesla, well, because we still have the Magic Archer, and then I go in for another Battle Ram, and then I Ghost, because I know I can break through a Knight if he's not able to support it correctly on his defensive end. So he's back to another log. He basically killed the push really nicely, no damage for me. So I just Ewas in the back because I know he's a bit low on elixir. And then I P.E.K.K.A. the bridge because I know I have a really fat elixir advantage here. And his cycle isn't amazing. He'd like to optimally have a Firecracker so that he could just start pushing it back as soon as he can. So now he gets it back, but we do lock this on the Tesla. So he's back to another Tesla, but he doesn't actually pull it away correctly. So we do manage to get the P.E.K.K.A. smack, and you need more than a P.E.K.K.A. smack, and the Bandit dash is definitely enough. I pre-zap thinking he's going to play some Skeletons, but he doesn't, so I go with the Magic Archer. At this point, I was aware, okay, so he isn't fireballed by Magic Archer at all, which means he's gonna have Rocket. You wouldn't always see a fireball coming out. And with Rocket, a 1200 damage lead is not enough to secure the game with a minute and a half left. So I go in, even though this Magic Archer is going to die, lock, and we do get a huge lock. Now with 1700 damage, it's definitely game over if he can't rocket cycle me or get an expo lock. He can't rocket cycle I should say. And the Ghost, again, out of Tesla range, not the greatest Tesla placement. So I just go P.E.K.K.A. Ewas again. He really can't kill that, and then we just ban it. We're going to try and class separate ways, and then the Firecracker dies, and that's the beauty of him not having archers. He couldn't kill that bandit. Ewas locks on, and his tower's at 573. His other one is at 1218. So we cycle our Ghost, we cycle our P.E.K.K.A., and he gives up at this point. He really just couldn't defend that expo, and yeah, we definitely walked away with a really commanding win there. Very nice stuff, and I didn't mean to replay that. But that shows you how you want to play against Expo when they don't have that fireball. You could see first few minutes, even if I didn't know he had Rocket to start with, as soon as he wasn't fireballing my Magic Archer almost instantly, or especially after he was getting some value, I could tell that he only had Rocket, and I could change my game plan accordingly. I'm going to be going into another game against minor Wallbreakers here, against an extremely good player. Hugo, I think he was a no-tilt player who did really well. Extremely versatile. And definitely going to be a really close game no matter what he's playing, even if I have a good matchup. So he splits Wallbreakers behind his king, which is becoming the new best play, and it's honestly really awkward for me because I can't play my Ewas and Magic Archer to shoot in the middle. So I just go in with a Magic Archer in the middle, and this is kind of awkward for me because I don't have anything for Wallbreakers if he cycles back, and I still need to kill this Knight. It's pretty healthy. So as you can see, he's back to his Wallbreakers. And so I just go in with, I forget what I do here. I think he was actually no, I just zap it. Okay, I just zap it because I knew he didn't have his bats back. He was gonna get them back quickly, but I think I had my poison, so I was ready to go poison on the minor bats if I really need to get you out of a because they don't really think that you're ever going to play a poison. So I banded the back, preparing for a minor because I thought he was going to protect these bats, but he ends up not doing so. And now I know he's definitely going to knight. He should definitely knight here. He actually lets my bandit get on, but yeah, it's going to be really difficult for me to defend. So I go in with a ghost in the back, predicting the minor again. We don't predict the minor, but I'm able to go in for a P.E.K.K.A just because this ghost is going to be really annoying for him, and this will also prevent him from my cycle. You can see my cycle super weird for defending like bats and wall breakers, but now I do have all the cards I need back, and his cycle is actually now the awkward one. So we force out some wall breakers here. I go for a magic archer in the middle, and this is actually a really risky play, and I don't think it ends up countering both wall breakers. It only encounters one, and it almost didn't counter either. Definitely should have EWIS there, even if it means losing that entire thing. I definitely should have EWIS just to ensure that we didn't take any more damage. I banded the bridge, which honestly wasn't a great play, but I miscalculated his elixir based on how long he waited to kite. So I just go in with a ghost on the minor, I think. And then I think he wall breakers, but double actually saves me here, and we're definitely gonna have enough elixir for the EWIS here. But again, I don't have a great cycle. He's got a nice elixir lead, and I can't really just P.E.K.K.A the back right now. So we're gonna try and wait, and now I know I can P.E.K.K.A the back because he wasted his spear goblins and his knight, which is not gonna give him too much. I know he's gonna minor, so I go in for a high magic archer, trying to preempt it, but the magic archer actually turns around and he fireballs it, and I eat the bats. I really can't, if I want to formulate a push here, I need to take this damage, and it honestly doesn't even end just because of how bad my cycle was when I P.E.K.K.A. I really needed like I really needed like a better offensive pressure, like a battle ram in the corner, but it's even looking back on it because I don't want to pause the replay for too long, but I just wasn't able to attack the way I wanted to. So now we reset, going P.E.K.K.A in the back towards our weak side lane. And I thought he was going to be ready for my Magic Archer, which is why I didn't Magic Archer immediately. I waited till I was at 10 just so I could see what he was going to do. And then I go in for a Magic Archer, and we kill those bats perfectly. Now he's down so much elixir. Look at this. He basically has and a ghost on them. I'm at 4, he's at 7. My elixir advantage is absolutely staggering right now, and I realized that while playing here. So he was in the middle. I knew he had spear goblins in hand. He had no knight. He had wall breakers, but they weren't optimal ground counters. So now we're just going to spam in both lanes. I want to force out his bomb tower. Kind of a bad magic archer on my end. And I actually whiffed the zap on the bomb tower, but the magic archer stays alive. So now, since we already have a tower threatening, I'm just going to bandit spam. P.E.K.K.A takes it out. Magic archer and bandit lock on. Sorry, my phone is lagging a bit here. Hopefully it'll go away. And yeah, it's actually going to catch up. But the magic archer gets a ton of damage, and so at this point, I just need to go into full defensive mode. 2 poisons, and this game is over. And he really can't do anything to stop it as long as I defend. So I just go P.E.K.K.A, preparing to shut down that lane until we can get off a poison. Here, I don't want to poison because he now has the knight. This is a really good catalyst for a push. But since he uses the minor and my P.E.K.K.A's blocking off the lane and he fireballs, even if he didn't fireball, I knew it was time to poison. Because he really couldn't do anything about that P.E.K.K.A. He can't play while that P.E.K.K.A's shutting down the lane. It'd be too easy. So now I know since the P.E.K.K.A's getting higher, he's definitely going to try and go in. I P.E.K.K.A the back again. I zap the minor and wallbreaker just to be safe. He's back to another poison. He's just going to spam. Definitely going to be game over, so we'll forward that just to the end of the game. And then, yeah, so a really good game against minor wallbreakers. Definitely want to be P.E.K.K.A-ing the back as in that matchup. It's really the only way you're going to be able to save yourself. So I'll actually go into a game against Gaming Leziad instead of 7 Afla, just because I think this matchup is a bit harder than Giant Graveyard. Giant Graveyard, if they starting hand you, the game is over, but otherwise you should be able to win. Okay, sorry about that. So that's probably going to be a really awkward pause there. I don't know how to edit that out. We'll see if I can actually edit that out. If I can, you won't even know what I'm talking about, but we'll see. So I just go into the Ghost Magic Archer to start off this game. I was pretty sure he had Sparky. Again, I know a lot of the decks where you guys won't, but even if they do, if they cycle a mini P.E.K.K.A Magic and you have a Ghost the bridge is a decent play. It'll kill the mini P.E.K.K.A pretty much, and it will get you a ton of damage, as you can see. So he goes in with the Sparky, and because I actually cycled the Magic Archer, my cycle is really awkward here. I don't like going in with the EWIS, But I know since the Ewiz now resets on walk, so that if he lets the Ewiz connect, it'll reset his Sparky. I just go in with a pre-place the P.E.K.K.A. just so that I can make sure that I'm able to kill off the Goblin Giant as fast as I can. So now the Ewiz locks on, and he goes in for a mini peck at the bridge. Ewiz can stun both, and I actually get my ghost down perfectly timed there. And we've just barely reset the mini peck by like a frame. So since I still have this Ewiz up, I have 4 elixir on the map. He doesn't. We were even on elixir. Definitely time to go in for a battle ram. It's definitely a concept you want to use with this deck. If you have elixir on the map and they don't, it's really a good time to start going in because counter push and punish you. So here I would like to go in. Oh, voice crack. Here I would like to go in for a Magic Archer. But Magic Archer is not going to offer me any good counter push. He can just feasibly ignore that, and it's not going to cost him anything. Here, since I bandited, no damage, very little damage to the bandit taking it, forced out 6 elixir from him. The Rage to cycle his Dark Prince, and then the Dark Prince itself. And it's only going to get one shot on the Ewiz, which again is going to net me some really nice damage here while I retain the elixir lead. So it was just a really good idea to use the bandit there, even though my Magic Archer could have gotten value. So I cycle the Magic Archer. He's just going to Sparky. Again, my cycle is really weird. I need to make sure I'm not pecking too early, otherwise he'll just spam opposite lane. So now we peck it in the middle because he really is committed to that lane, and we're definitely going to take this tower. And this is actually a pretty easy defense, even though I'm down elixir. I just need to pull everything. So this was actually an accident. I pull the mini P.E.K.K.A. towards the Magic Archer, aligning it with the Sparky. I just meant to pull the mini P.E.K.K.A. away, honestly, so it wouldn't kill my P.E.K.K.A. Accidental big brain plays, but it ends up working out. Magic quickly zap. Goblin Giant gets like 2 hits on the tower. And yeah, it's going to be an easy defense. I play another Magic Archer. And then we just Ewiz late. And even though... And that's going to be an easy defense. And he gives up here. Which is where you see the 3-0. I actually didn't 3-crown him. He just let me 3-crown him. So yeah. That's going to be how I got to top 31 in the world using P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam. Thank you guys so much for watching. Even with this less than optimal setup. And I'll catch you guys in the next...